Okay, hey out there, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, blessed, joyful night, evening. Hope you guys enjoyed your day. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy, you and your families. Sorry, I forgot the footballs in the background. Get rid of that. Anyway, apologies for that. So, um, wish you all the best. Hope you have a best week, blessed life. Tonight, talking about the Sunday night football game between the Indianapolis Colts at the San Francisco 49ers. So to originally until I was paying attention to there's the breakdown pre-show for the Sunday night football game. I forgot that Trey Lance actually was out of this game for knee injury. So I originally started writing about Trey Lance, but he's out, so I'm gonna scratch all that. So pretty much it's about Jimmy Garoppolo's return, right? So Jimmy Garoppolo got injured, so he missed about the last 4 to 6 quarters for the San Francisco 49ers. So far in this year, he has 78 completions for 925 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He looked at times good, at times bad, mostly serviceable. And I think that's kind of why he went for Trey Lance to try to see to get a different spark. But also Garoppolo apparently has had an injury of his own, so that's why he had pulled him. But come off a bye week and Trey Lance with a knee injury, Garoppolo gets to start and return in prime time tonight. So that's pretty much about the Colts. They come off a bye. The last game Trey Lance started and was a loss to rival Arizona Cardinals 17-10. Um, Talking about the Indianapolis Colts now. The Colts come into this game with the defense of Carson Wentz rolling the last 3 weeks. I understand 2 weeks ago they lost in overtime to Baltimore Ravens, but they had control majority of that game till Lamar Jackson took over in the second half and won in overtime. So Carson Wentz is coming into this game throwing 6 touchdowns, 800 plus yards in the last 3 weeks, 0 interceptions, and then we have Jonathan Taylor who's averaged 100 plus yards from scrimmage in the last 3 weeks. 2 weeks ago against the Ravens, I believe it was, he had 116 yards receiving and a touchdown. He had 53 yards on the ground. Then against the Dolphins, he had 103 yards, and the last week he had 145 yards, I believe, against the Houston Texans with 2 touchdowns. So he's coming into this game with 4 touchdowns, rushing for 400 plus yards in the last 3 weeks, and like I said, averaging 100 yards from scrimmage. So then you add in the Colts defense, who has forced 6 turnovers the last 3 weeks, forced Houston 3 turnovers, forced the Miami Dolphins to 2 turnovers, and forced Baltimore Ravens to 1 turnover. So that's 6 turnovers in the last 3 weeks. So this Colts defense has been rolling the last 3 weeks, in my opinion, and Colts have confidence, and I believe they're gonna have. I believe they went through majority of the rough stretch of their schedule. I think the second half of the season is very favorable for the Colts. But focus on tonight's game. I'm gonna say and going to stick with my original score, though Garoppolo's starting now, and that's because the Colts, sorry, not the Colts, the 49ers have suffered some injuries. They're without some weapons, offensively, defensively, and then they also are without one of Jimmy Garoppolo's main weapons and the 49ers' main weapons and tight end George Kittle, who's on injury reserve currently. So that being said, do I believe Garoppolo can put up more than my original score for the 49ers? I'm going to stick with the Colts winning this game on the road 27-20. This was a game I thought the 49ers just got a very good season. At this point, they've lost a couple games I expected them to win. And with that being said, I also expected um, the Colts to steal this game after having a bad start. So I expect them to win this game either way during the preseason. So I'm going to stick with this is going to be the game that they win 27-20 on the road uh, versus the 49ers. And I think it's going to be a good primetime game for both Garoppolo return tonight and Wentz. I do believe, talking about overall game, I give you my scores. And I'm talking about fantasy picks for the Indianapolis Colts. I believe this is going to be a game that have to rely on running back Jonathan Taylor to continue producing like he has the last 3 weeks, and that's going to be a key to them winning this game. Now, honorable mention is wide receiver Michael Pittman Jr. I believe he could take advantage with his size against Josh Norman. That's who I would target this game. 49ers have a good defense on all 3 levels. Fred Warner, linebacking core. Ken Law is out tonight, but you still have Eric Armstead the DN, and then Mosley, the cornerback, has been played probably the best. Then you still have veterans and Ward, and I forget the other safety, but they're good quality defense. Focusing back on the Colts side, I would attack Josh Norman and Michael Pittman Jr. Unfortunately, T.Y. Hilton, who came back last week, is out again tonight, and I believe Paris Campbell had season-ending surgery, if I'm correct. So they come into this game a little bit thinner wide receiver, just Pascal and Pittman Jr. He's going to rely on tight ends, Ali Cox, and who's the other one? Forget. I think Doyle's the other tight end, if I'm correct, for the Colts. If not, apologies. Anyway, so defensively, my defense fan pick for the Indianapolis Colts. Left tackle for the 49ers, Trent Williams, is out, so I would attack that side. Starting right defensive end is Al-Quadin Muhammad, if I said that correct. So that's my fantasy pick of how I would attack this 49ers offense right now, who's without their starting left tackle, Trent Williams. Honorable mention is DeForest Buckner. This is his return game against the San Francisco 49ers. This is a bit of a revenge game for him, so I believe he's going to be motivated. But I think they're going to focus on him because you know how good of a player he is and some of his go-to moves and talent. So I believe they're going to focus on preventing him from taking over the 49ers. But that's my honorable mention for the Colts. Now we talk about the 49ers fantasy pick. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to get it going with targeting Deebo Samuel. I believe the Colts suffer some injuries in the secondary. That's starting cornerback Rocky Ya-Sin, and they're without one of the starting safeties, Julian Blackman, who got injured. So I would attack and try to stretch this field as much as possible. If I was the 49ers, Deebo Samuel is that stretch player and probably the best wide receiver on the team for the San Francisco 49ers. So I would target him if I was Jimmy Garoppolo. Honorable mention, opposite side, Brandon Ayuk. He's got size, ability to stretch the field and catch jump balls down the field. Now we talk about defensive fantasy picks for the San Francisco 49ers. Starting right tackle for the Colts, Brandon Smith, is out. So I would attack them with left defensive end Eric Armstead, who's a very talented defensive end for the San Francisco 49ers defense. Now my honorable mention for defensively for the San Francisco 49ers is Fred Warner. Why? Jonathan Taylor, I lose the keys to the game for the Colts. What's the best way to shut him down? Your best defensive player on your team, and probably one of the best linebackers in the league, and Fred Warner. He's very talented, very agile, and very good at getting to pursuit and tackling the running back. So I believe Fred Warner is the honorable mention key for tonight, but I'm going to go defensive end, Eric Armstead being the key, with Brandon Smith being out right tackle for the 49ers to win this game by disrupting the offense on defense. So that's my thoughts tonight's game. Again, Trey Lance out tonight. Jimmy Garoppolo returns tonight. There's going to be a QB battle between Wentz and Garoppolo in primetime. And I lead the Colts still this one on the road by a score of 27-20. So that's my thoughts tonight's game. Hope everyone continues to have a wonderful, blessed life. Live your best life. Stay true to yourself. Stay happy, peaceful. Stay healthy and safe, you and your families. And wishing you guys all a wonderful, blessed week. And keep doing good in the world out there, guys. That's my thoughts tonight's game. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Peace.